Financial ratios are tools for accountants to evaluate the performance of a company. So there are some financial ratios such as net to sale, net to worth ratio, and net income to net sale ratios are called primary because they indicate the fundamental causes underlying the company's strength and weakness. And as know, based on this, they can know the company can generate the income from the sale. So through this ratio, they can assess the strength and the weaknesses of the company. And some others, as a can assess the current ratios on the current liability to net worth ratios are called secondary because they describe the company competitive position and financial structures as effects of the cost identified by primary ratio. As know, this to show the abilities of the company to pay or to meet its obligation, both long-term and short-term, as well as through it they can also assess the financial positions of the companies as well as the financial structures of companies. So this is there are lots of financial ratio, but there are four main rules of financial ratio that we will focus on. The first, the liquidity ratio, efficiency ratio, the profitability ratios, as well as the solvency ratio. And we will study each group in turn later. And now come to liquidity ratio. And what is the liquidity ratio? As now, liquidity ratio are the methods of figuring out how to convert assets to cash. So that's the reason why liquidity ratio consists of quick ratio, current ratio, and cash ratio. And come first to the current ratio. And the current ratio is the ways of the looking at the working capital and measuring short-term solvency. So look at this. We can see that the current ratio can calculate by taking the current assets dividing by the current liabilities. And those every industry has its range acceptable current ratio. The ratios of 2 to 1 is considered desirable in most sectors, since inventory is included in the current assets. A C-stats ratio is a more suitable measure where the sellability of inventory is questionable. And now, based on the formulas to calculate the current ratio, please open the financial ratio of Vinamilk in 2021 in order to calculate the current ratio in 2020 and 2021 for me, please. Rồi các bạn sẽ giờ hôm trước là tôi nói các bạn đao cái báo cáo hợp nhất của phần Vinamilk rồi đúng không ạ? Đúng nhỉ?
Đúng rồi ạ.
Đúng rồi ạ. Bây giờ thì chúng ta sẽ gỡ ra để các bạn có nhìn thấy cái báo cáo hợp nhất của Vinamilk trên màn hình không? Các bạn có nhìn thấy cái báo cáo tôi đang di chuyển trên màn hình không nhỉ?
Có.
Ok. Nhìn vào công thức thì chúng ta thấy là gì, để tính cái hệ số thanh khoản nhanh này thì bằng cách nào ạ? Là về current assets, đúng không ạ? Dividing by the current liabilities. So look at this. Now, what is the current assets in this? What is the number that you have? You have look at in the the cut, the accounting cut. Current assets will be will have the cost 100 here. It means in 2021, the Vinamilk have the total current assets of 36,109 billion, nearly 36,110 billion đồng. Okay. And in 2020, yeah, look at this. This is the 1st of January. It means 31st of December on 2020. So on the 2020, it is 29,666 billion đồng. Okay. So this is the current liabilities. Current assets. And look at the sources. We can see which is the current liabilities. Current liabilities have the code of 310. So the total current liabilities in 2021 is nearly 17,068 million đồng. And in 2020 is the 14,213 billion đồng. Okay. So we will take the number, the figure in code of 100 divided by the figure in the code of 310. We will have the current ratio. Now, what is the current ratio in 2020 and 2021 of Vinamilk? Bạn Anh Ngân. Anh Ngân.
Dạ có ạ.
What is the current ratio in 2020 and 2021 of Vinamilk?
Cô là
Mỗi cái việc đấy mà bạn làm lâu thế nhỉ Ngân nhỉ? Cứ mẹ lại thế. Bạn không định làm à?
có.
Nguyễn Diệu Linh.
Dạ của em ạ. Em chưa tìm xong. Alo cô nghe thấy ạ? Không ạ?
Nghe thấy.
Em chưa tìm xong.
Nguyễn Thái Thị Thu Trang.
Dạ em thưa cô là với công thức này thì trong cái báo cáo của công ty Vinamilk thì ta sẽ có current asset, current ratio sẽ bằng với current asset chia cho current liability. Current asset của công ty Vinamilk vào.
Tôi hỏi kết quả.
Dạ kết quả thì em chưa tính ạ.
Thôi nhá, nếu mà lớp này chậm như này thì là tôi sẽ không giảng theo cái thực tiễn nữa, mà tôi ở lý thuyết và các bạn tự làm nhá. Được không?
Dạ thưa cô, kết quả bằng 2,115 ạ.
Của năm bao nhiêu? Của năm bao nhiêu?
Dạ của năm 2021 ạ.
Thế còn 20. Nói chung nếu các bạn chậm là cô sẽ không giảng theo thực tiễn nữa đâu. Rồi cô lại
em đang bấm máy, cô đợi em chút ạ. Năm 2020 là 1,71 ạ.
Năm 2020 1,71 á?
Vâng. 2,09 hả cô? 2,8 đúng không cô? Năm 2020 ạ. Em nhìn nhầm ạ. Năm 2020 là 2,09 ạ.
Đúng rồi. Đó là bao nhiêu? Số nào nhân lên số nào? Thì năm 20 này các em mở cái báo cáo hợp nhất của năm 21 ra nhá. Báo cáo hợp nhất năm 21. Năm 21 sẽ là bao nhiêu? Năm 21 thì sẽ là 36.109.9, đúng không ạ? Chia cho bao nhiêu?
17064 ạ. 17.608,4 ạ.
Đúng rồi. Thì ra kết quả là bao nhiêu? 2 phẩy mấy? 115 đúng không?
Vâng ạ, đúng rồi ạ. Bấm cả cái dãy dài thì nó sẽ ra 2,11.
Còn 220 sẽ là bao nhiêu? Sẽ là lấy bao nhiêu? 29.665.7, đúng không? Đúng không cả lớp?
Đúng rồi ạ.
Và chia cho
14.212,6 ạ.
đúng rồi, 14.212,6 thì ra kết quả là bao nhiêu?
2,09 ạ.
2.09. Rồi, 2.09 đấy là gì ạ? Current ratio. Và current ratio nó lên điều gì? For every dollars of current liabilities, the company have a 2 point, xin lỗi, đề đồng chứ. For every đồng of current liabilities, the company have 2.12 đồng of convertible assets to meet its short-term debts in 2021. And in 2020, for every đồng of current liabilities, Vinamilk have a 2.09 đồng of convertible assets. Okay. Now come to the next. We have a quick ratio. Quick ratio is a measure of the company liquidities and abilities to meet its obligation. A quick ratio is often refers to as AC stack ratio, is obtained by subtracting inventories from current assets and then dividing by current liabilities. So, the quick ratio is the difference from the current ratio in this. Okay. When they have already subtracting the stock or inventory from the current assets. So, quick ratio is viewed as a sign of company financial strength and weakness. The higher number means stronger and lower numbers mean weaker. So, calculate the quick ratio for Vinamilk. So now, in order to calculate the quick ratio, you have to take the current ratio, okay? Minus what? Minus inventory. It means you have to take the figures of 100 cups minus the figures of 140 cups, okay? Then dividing by what? By the figures of cups 310. Okay. Now we will calculate. In this case, we have to take the 36,110 or 109.9 minus 6,773.1. Then dividing by 17,068.4. So what is the quick ratios in 2021? Bạn Nguyễn Thị Hoài. Nguyễn Thị Hoài. Nguyễn Thị Hoài nghỉ đúng không? 14 tháng 11. Bạn Đỗ Thị Loan. Đỗ Thị Loan. Nguyễn Thị Nhung.
Em có ạ.
Nguyễn Thị Nhung.
Quick radio 2021 is 1.7.
Bạn nói to lên.
Em ra kết quả là 1.71 đồng ạ.
Yeah. And what is the quick ratios in 2020?
2020 là 1,74 ạ.
Yeah. Okay. So what does this number mean? It means in 2020, for every đồng of current liabilities, Vinamilk have a one the current ratio. Now have a $1.71 of easily đồng of easily convertible assets. Now, for every đồng of current liabilities, các bạn viết đi. Không đến lúc mà khi làm bài tập các bạn đều phải trả lời cái này đấy. Không phải tính ra con số đâu mà phải nói con số đấy nói lên điểm gì. Thì sau này các bạn mới đọc được cái báo cáo tài chính. Cái gì mà không có trong slide thì các bạn phải ghi vào. Nhất là tôi lặp đi lặp lại. Và đến cái sau đấy các bạn nghe quen rồi thì ngay sau các bạn phải nói được. Now in 2021 the quick ratio show that for every đồng of current liabilities there are $1.71 đồng of easily convertible assets. And the same in 2020 for every đồng of current liabilities, Vinamilk have a 1.74 đồng of easily convertible assets. And come to the last. The last ratio of liquidity. We have the cash ratio. As you know, the cash ratio is the one of liquidity ratio, which is the refinements of quick ratio, indicates the extent to which the readily available funds can pay off the current liabilities. This calculated by taking cash and cash equivalent dividing by current liabilities. So back to this. We have to take the figures of Tatckt number 1110 divided by figures of the Tatckt 3110. So what is the cash ratio of Vinamilk in 2021 and 2020? Trần Hoài Thương. Trần Hoài Thương.
Em có. Cash ratio của năm 2020. Cô lại một chút một tí nữa.
What is cash ratios in 2021?
2,111 by 2 divided by by 14,212.6. It is 0.1 0.14 of 2020.
So what are they mean? What are these number mean?
This number means in 2020 Vinamilk have 0.14 Việt Nam đồng of cash ratio.
What are these means? What are the 0.14 of cash ratio in 2021 tell you? Or the cash ratios are 0.14 in 2021, so PMU tell you what? Yeah, this tell you for every đồng for every 100 đồng of current liabilities, the company have 14 đồng of readily available fund to pay off the current liabilities. Now, for every đồng or every 100 đồng of current liabilities, Vinamilk have 14 đồng of readily available fund paying off the current liabilities. The same in 2020, for every 100 đồng of current liabilities, Vinamilk have 15 đồng of readily available fund to pay its current liabilities. Yeah, that is the liquidity ratio. Come on to the second group of financial ratio. It is a efficiency ratio. As know, efficiency ratio is the measurement of how well a company can manage its income and expenses. The accounts monitors account receivable and account payable. So for efficiency ratio, it focuses on two most important ratio. It is receivable and payables. Aside from that, efficiency ratio also calculate the inventory ratio and the assets turnover ratio as well. That's the reason why the efficiency ratio we will focus on the stock turnover ratio or inventory ratio, debtor turnover ratio, account receivable ratio, creditor turnover ratio or account payable ratio, and asset turnover ratio. So what is the inventory ratio? Inventory ratio or the stock turnover ratio show how quickly the business sells its stock and show the numbers of time a firm's investments inventory recouped during an accounting period. This is calculated by taking the cost of sale dividing by average inventory. And average inventory is calculated by the sum of opening and ending stock dividing by 2. So, back to the financial ratio. No. What is the number? What is the inventory ratios of Vinamilk in 2021? Inventory ratio calculated by what? Cost of sales. Cost of sale. What is the cost of sale in this case? Look at the financial ratio. Now, what is the cost of sale? What is the cost of sale code? Chào các bạn, cost of sale cost ở đây là cái gì?
Một đúng không ạ?
Yeah. Cost of sale. So in this case, we will have the code of 11 or 11. Dividing by what?
Dividing by average inventory.
So what is the turnover? What is the inventory turnover of this? Now in this case, we will take the 34,640.9 multiply by 2. Okay? Then dividing by the sum of what? Sum of 6,773.1 plus 4,905.1. Okay. So, what is the inventory turnover? Will be
the inventory turnover ratio of the 2021 is 5.93 times, and is the inventory turnover ratio.
Turnover ratios of 2021. How much?
5.93.
And
2022 is
and 2020 is 6.47 times.
What are the means?
It means that the inventory ratio, so that in the 20 and 21, 6, sorry, wait me a minute. 5.93 times of the binomial investment in inventory is recouped during the accounting period.
Okay.
And in the 2020, the inventory ratio, so that 6.47 a binomial investment in inventory is recorded during an accounting period.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, in other words, in the years 2021, there are 5.93 times average debtors are turned over during the year. Okay. And in 2020, it indicates the 6.47 times average debtors are inventory turnover during the year. Now come to the next ratio of efficiency. It is a debt turnover ratio or account receivable ratio. This ratio shows how long or how many days it is taking to collect debts from customers. And it also indicates the number of times average debtors are turned over during the year. This ratio is calculated by taking net sale dividing by average debtor. And average debtor is calculated by the sum of opening and closing balance of debtor dividing by 2. And the net sale or net credit sale is calculated by taking the total assets minus the sale return and plus the cash sale if necessary. Okay. So back to the financial ratio. What is the debt ratio? That's the turnover ratio of this. Yeah, this is tracking the what? The net sale. So what is the net sale in this case?
That was 10.
Yeah, of course. Have the code 10. Code number 10. We will take the net sale dividing by average. Average what? Account receivable. No. So, what's the number? What is code number? No, where did we take the figures of the code number? Code number what? The whole class?
Number 130, 130.
No, not yet. The code number here is 131. Not 130. Okay. So we take the average of figure from code number 131. So what is the data? Turnover ratios of this. We take 60,919.2 dividing by average account receivable. Now, what is the debtor turnover ratio? Anh Ngân.
Yêu cầu là 30.95.
13.95. coi như 61.000 chia cho bao nhiêu? Chia cho 4. Chia 4,2 đúng không? Tại sao lại ra có 13 nhỉ?
13,95 ạ. 13,95. 60.919,2 chia cho 4.367,8.
Thì ra bao nhiêu?
Ra là 13,95 ạ.
13,95. Năm 20. Xin lỗi. 20 các bạn lại phải dở cái bảng kia. Khi mà tính trung bình thì các bạn lại chỉ gì ạ? Phải sử dụng cái số liệu của cái khác thôi được. Cái này thôi. Cái này nói đến cái gì Ngân?
In the years 2021, for every
Mean our average data our average data 13.95 times are converted into cash. Yeah. In an accounting period, the Vietnamese have a 13.95 times of data converted into cash. Nếu tính ngày thì là thế nào? Cần bao nhiêu ngày? Các bạn lấy 365 chia cho 13,95. Thì ra ngày là bao nhiêu?
26 ạ.
Là 26. Vậy thì nó nói nào đây?
Cứ 26 ngày là thu được nợ ạ.
Thế in the years of 2021, the Vietnamese need every 26 days to collect debts from customers. Okay. Need 26 days to collect debts from customers. Now come on to the next. Creditor turnover ratio. Các phần khác ở trong slide các bạn sẽ tự học. Đây tôi chỉ dạy nhanh để các bạn vận dụng phân tích thôi. Now, come on to the creditor turnover ratio or account payable turnover. As you know, creditor turnover ratio is a short-term liquidity measure used to quantify the rate at which the company pay off its supplier. This illustrates how effective a credit policy is. So this is calculated by taking the total supplier's purchases dividing by average account payable. And average account payable is calculated by taking the sum of beginnings and ending account payable dividing by 2. And as you know, total supplier purchases. If in your balance sheet there's no item clearly such as supplier purchases, you will take the cost of sale again as well. Cost of sale. So back to this, calculate the creditor turnover ratio. What is the cost of sale? What is the cost of sale in this case?
11.
The purchasing? Yeah, it is have the code number 11. Is the cost of sale or the purchase is the supplier purchases. Okay. Dividing by average account payable. Account payable. Hello. Account payable. Now what is account payable? Number code?
311.
Yes, good. 311. So what is the credit turnovers of Vinamilk in 2021? Who can? Phạm Hoa.
Yes, the creditor turnover ratio of Vinamilk in 2021 is 2.336.
Sao thế được nhỉ?
2.33.
Có bị nhầm không?
Dạ em không ạ, là lấy 34640 chia cho
8 đúng không?
Vâng,
chia cho cái gì?
Chia cho 4213 cộng 3199 chia 2 ạ. Bằng
tương đương ở đây nhìn sẽ tương đương chia 4 đúng không? Gần như chia cho 4.
Dạ vâng.
Đúng không?
Thì em bật máy tính ra 2,336 ạ.
34 chia cho 4. 34 chia cho 4 làm sao mà ra cái 2 phẩy mấy được? Cô nhẩm nhanh ấy thì cũng phải là 9, tầm 9. Tại sao lại là ra cái số đấy được? Cứ lấy 34 chia 4 là 8432 đúng không? Đúng không? Bạn Hoa?
Vâng, 34 chia 4 thì khoảng 8,5 ạ. Nhưng em bấm sang
tất cả là 2,33.
9,3.
9,35.
Chính phải bác
Đấy
lên.
mới là hợp lý chứ.
Chắc em bấm vào một số người ấy.
Now what does it mean? What does this number mean?
It means that Vinamilk have to pay off its suppliers in 9.35.
Yeah. So this means that the Vietnamese account payable turnover 9.35 times during the year.
Yes.
Nếu tính sang ngày thì thế nào? Tính sang ngày.
It is 39 days.
39 days.
Every 39 days, Vinamilk have to pay off its supplier.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you. So that's the creditor turnover ratio. And the last ratio of efficiency, it is the asset turnover ratio. Asset turnover ratio is financial ratio that measure the efficiency of the company's use its asset in generating sale revenues or sale income to the company. It is a measure of how efficiently a company assets generates revenues, or measure the numbers of dollars of revenue generated by $1 of company's assets. It is or have a formula by taking revenue dividing by average total assets. So, revenue. What is the count numbers of revenue? Look at this. Now the whole class tell me what is the count numbers of revenues in this case. No class. Không nói cô pass, cô chuyển sang phần mới đi nha.
One.
Yeah, O1. This is the revenue divided by the average total assets. So the total assets here have a count numbers of 270. Okay. So now what is the assets turnover ratio? Who can? Ông Nguyễn Thị Minh Thùy. Now, what is the assets turnover ratio?
Em tìm nốt. Sẽ ra là 1.14. 144. 144.
1.14. Nhầm nhỉ? Now, what is the average total assets? Nhìn đây là tương đương 50.000 đúng không? 50,5 nghìn đúng không?
Là
50,5. Cứ cho là 50,5 đi. Thì 61 chia 50,5 thì nó phải gần 1,2 chứ.
vâng như nào?
Now what does this number mean?
investment.
This number mean Vinamilk can generate 1.2 đồng of revenue generated from 1 đồng of the company's assets. Vinamilk can generate 1.2 đồng of revenue from 1 đồng of company's assets in 2021. Okay. That is the efficiency ratio. So efficiency ratio consists of 4 ratios. The first, inventory turnover ratio, debtor turnover ratio, creditor turnover ratio, and asset turnover ratio. And we come to the first rule of financial ratio. It is a profitability ratio. As you know, profitability ratio are the class of financial metrics that are used to assess the business ability to generate earnings compared to its expenses and other relevant costs incurred during a specific period of time. So, profitability ratio are the class of is a measure the profitability, but there are lots of time. It is a gross margin or gross profit margin or gross profit percentage, net profit margin or net profit percentage, returns on capital employed, returns on assets, and returns on equities. Now we come to each ratio in turn. The first, gross profit margin or gross margin. So gross margin is the profitability ratio that measures how much of every dollars of revenue is left over after paying cost of goods sold. So this is calculated by taking gross profits divided by net sales multiplied by 100. As you know, for all the profitability ratio, they often express in percentage. That's the reason why we have to multiply the quotient 100 here. And gross profits is calculated by taking revenue minus the cost of goods sold. And net sales is calculated by total revenue minus the cost of goods sold and the allowance and discount, etc. Gross profits. Now, back to the financial. Now, what is the gross margin in 2020? So in this way, what is the gross profits?
20.
20. Yeah. Now, what is the gross margin of Vinamilk in 2021? Now, what is the net sale? What is net sale?
10.
10. Okay. So, what is the gross margin? Anh Trang.
Yes, the gross margins in 2022 is 46.4%, and in the 1991 is 26.72%.
26 hả? 20.
Đến năm 2021 thì là hơn 26%, còn năm 2020 thì là hơn 46%.
Thế á? Hơn 46% rồi. 26
668,6 chia cho 59.636,3.
Sao thế? Em lấy số sai rồi.
Để em xem lại ạ.
Nên là vì lấy cái số liệu của cái mã 20 chia cho mã 10 mà. Năm 21 là 26.000 chia cho 60, đúng không? Đây 27.000 chia 59.
Thế thì vâng, đây đúng là 27.668,6 chia cho 59.636,3 là năm
bao nhiêu?
Là 46,4% ạ.
Thế bằng cái kia?
Còn cái kia là cái kia em tính, em đánh máy sai rồi.
Đúng không? Cái kia cũng phải là tầm 40, hơn 40 gì?
Vâng ạ.
Đúng à? Và cái là 43,14%. Đúng không ạ? Đấy, what does it mean?
It means that in 2020, the company on 46% of every dollar of revenues is left over after the paying cost of goods sold, and in the 1991 is 43.13% of every dollar of revenue is left over after paying cost of goods sold.
Yeah. So in 2021, Vinamilk have a 43.14 đồng of revenues left over after paying 100 đồng cost of goods sold. Bởi vì chúng ta không có xu cho nên là không nói xu được, đúng không ạ? Thì trong trường hợp lẻ này thì chúng ta lại phải tính là gì? 100 đô. Có nghĩa là gì ạ? Sẽ tạo ra 43,14 đồng cho còn lại sau khi mà trả cho 100 cái gì ạ? 100 đồng gì? Doanh thu là vốn hàng bán, đúng không ạ? Hay nói cách khác là gì? Vinamilk have 43.14 đồng of revenues left over after paying cost of goods sold. And the same in 2020, it have 46.19 đồng revenues left after paying cost of goods sold. Now come to, that is the gross profit margin. Next to the net profit margin is the ratio of net profits to revenue for the company's business segment. It shows how much of each dollar collected by companies as revenue translated into profits. So in this is calculated by taking the net profits divided by sales multiplied by the quotient 100. So what is the net margin? So what is what show the net profits in this case? What is net profit code number?
30.
Not yet. Net profit code number. Not have the code 30.
60.
Yeah, it is a 60. Have a code number 60. Okay. So in this case, we have to take the figures from the code number 60, dividing by the figures from the code number 01. So what is the net margin in 2020 and 2021? Nhung, Nguyễn Thị Nhung.
In 2020, net profit margin is 18.84%, and 2021 is 17.45%.
Đó. Bao nhiêu?
2020 là 18,84% ạ.
84 và 14 10 mấy? 17,45.
17,45.
Okay. Now what are the names?
It means that you can earn 18.84%, 18.84 đồng in profit for every Việt Nam đồng.
For every 100.
Yes.
Okay. So in 2021, Vinamilk earned 17.65 đồng for every $100 is collect, and so on with in 2020. Okay. And next, we come to returns on capital employed. Returns on capital employed is a financial ratio that measures the company's profitability and the efficiency with which its capital employed. It's calculated by taking the EBIT, earning before interest and taxes, dividing by capital employed. The capital employed is calculated by equity with non-current liabilities, or taking total assets minus the current liabilities. So, what is return on capital employed in 2020 and 2021 of Vinamilk? What is the EBIT? What is the EBIT? Code number 50. Yeah. Code number 50 to show the EBIT. And so that's the reason why we will have to take the figures from code number 50 dividing by what? Total what? Total liabilities and owner's equity minus the current liabilities. So it means in 2020 we take 53 minus what? 17,000 billion. 17.1, okay? And in 2020, we take the 48.4 minus the 14.2. So what is the returns on capital employed? Bạn Đỗ Phương Linh.
Thưa cô, em chưa tính kịp ạ.
Bạn nào tính được rồi?
In 2020 is 39.57 and in the 2021 is 35.1%.
In 2021?
35,1 ạ.
In 2020?
39,5 ạ.
Thôi, cứ coi như đúng nhá, bởi vì thực ra cái returns on capital employed của 20 năm 21 là số liệu của em hơn bị thấp hơn so với cái tế. So in this case, what does it mean? What does it mean? Linh, what does this number mean? Diệu Linh, what does this number mean?
Dạ. Em suy nghĩ là
Now who can? Who can? This number show the minimum have what? 35.79 đồng of return that a business is achieving from the capital employed. Now come to the next. In other words, for every dollars of capital employed, the company can generate 35.79 đồng. Okay. And next, returns on assets. Returns on assets. Returns on assets measure how effectively the company produces income from its assets. It's calculated by dividing net income for the current years by the values of all company's assets and multiplied by the quotient 100. Yeah. So, what is the net income? What is the net income code number?
Code 60.
Yeah, 60. Now, what is the EBIT code number? EBIT code number. Code number 50. Yeah. 5060. So here you have to take the figures from 60 dividing by the code number 50. We have what is the returns on capital employed? Xin lỗi. What is the returns on? Nào cái gì nhỉ?
Return on assets on assets. Total assets.
What is returns on assets?
In 2022 is about 20%, and in the 20 in the 2021
is 20% and
20%, yes, and in the 2020 is about 23%.
So what does it mean?
It means that on every $1 assets, Vietnamese have 23 cents of income.
Yeah. For every đồng, for every 100 đồng of company, the Vietnamese hold in assets, it can generate 23 or 20 đồng of income. Okay. And the last profitability ratio is the returns on equities. Returns on equity measure how much a company makes for each dollar that investor put into it. It's calculated by taking the net income earned dividing by the total equities multiply the quotient 100. Now, what is the net income? Yeah.
460.
Yeah. Dividing by the total equity.
4 years.
Yeah, in this case, 400 or 410 have the same number. Yeah. Nên là thôi chính xác, chúng ta vẫn là để là cái mã 410 nhá, 410 nhá. Vậy lấy bao nhiêu? What is the returns on equities of 2021 in 2020?
In 2021 is about 30%, and in 2022 is about 30.5%. I'm sorry, 33%.
Yeah. What does it mean?
It means that on Vinamilk Vinamilk make 33 đồng on for each 100 Vietnam đồng that investor put into it.
Okay. Thank you. So it means Vinamilk generate or produce 29 or 33 đồng in profits for every $100 invested. Okay. And in short, profitability ratio consists of 5 ratios. It is the gross margin, net margin, returns on capital employed, return on assets, and return on equity. And the last group, financial ratio, it is the solvency ratio. As you know, the solvency ratio is one of the various ratios used to measure the abilities of the company to meet its long-term debts and other obligations. The solvency ratio indicates whether the company's cash flow is sufficient to meet its short-term and long-term liabilities. So there are two types of solvency ratio. It is a debt to owner's equity ratio and debt to assets ratio. And for the debt to equity ratio, used to measure a company's financial leverage, which indicates how much debt a company is using to finance its assets relatively to the amounts of value represented in shareholder equities. It is calculated by taking the total debts dividing by the total equities. No. What is the debt to equity ratio? Total debts. It means we have to take the figures from the code 300. Okay. Divided by what?
Code 400.
Yeah, 40 or 410. So, what is the debt to equity ratio?
In 2021 is about 49% and in 2022 is about 44%.
Thank you. Good. And what does it mean?
It means that Vinamilk have 49 đồng of debt relative to 100 Vietnam dong to total to equity.
Yeah. This number indicates the 40. Bạn vừa nói bao nhiêu nhỉ? Em vừa nói kết quả là bao nhiêu nhỉ?
Năm 2021 là khoảng 49% ạ.
Còn cái kia?
Còn năm 2020 là khoảng 44% ạ.
Okay. So, the 0.49 debt to equity ratio indicates the 49 đồng that a company is using to finance its assets relative to the amount of value represented in shareholder equity. And the same as in 2020. And the last is the debt to assets ratio. Debt to assets ratio indicates the proportion of a company's assets that are being financed with debts rather than equities. So the ratio is used to determine the financial risk of business. It is calculated by taking the total debt divided by the total assets. Total debts, figures from 300 divided by the total assets, divided by the figures from the 270, and we will have this. Yeah. So, as you know, in this lecture, we learn the financial ratio, and at home you have to do all the exercises in chapter 2, and you also have to calculate all the financial ratio of Vinamilk in 2020 and 2019. Okay, if you have a time. Nếu có thời gian thì các bạn có thể làm thêm các cái chỉ số hệ số phân tích năm 20 và năm 21. Còn bây giờ cô sẽ gửi cho các bạn. Cô gửi cho các bạn bài tập của chương 2, chương 3. Đó. Đó là bài tập của chương 2 và chương 3 tôi gửi cho các bạn, để các bạn đau về các bạn làm nhé. Và hôm sau có lẽ chúng ta học buổi sau chúng ta chữa bài tập luôn. Còn thời gian thì chúng ta học tiếp chương 3 nha. That's enough for today. Thank you for your listening and goodbye.